All right, good afternoon, everybody. First of all, let me just start by thanking everybody and asking you to join in us in keeping our president, our troops, and all those that are engaged over in Iran, in Israel, in your thoughts and prayers. Regardless of your politics, we need to be praying for our troops in the United States of America, so I hope you all do that for us. Thank you. I also just want to thank everybody for joining us to help provide more tax relief to hardworking Georgians today, among other great measures that are included in this budget. Proud to be here with the greatest First Lady in the country, Marty Kemp, and the First Lady of I'm glad that she's being supervised by the First Lady of the House this afternoon. We appreciate both of y'all's service, as well as the First Lady of the Senate. We're both grateful for all these folks that are beside me and behind me who overwhelmingly supported the passage of this budget. Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones, Speaker John Burns, Chairman Blake Tillery, and Chairman Matt Hatchett, as well as all those on the steps behind us, the House and Senate Budget Office. Just want to thank you all for so much dedication and time and work that went into this budget. So thank you guys so much for that. I also want to thank my fellow constitutional officers for being with us today. Finally, I want to thank OPB Director Rick Dunn and his team, as well as my Chief of Staff, Lauren Curry, for all of their time and hard work that they put into the budget process this year. As you can imagine, the Office of Planning and Budget, my team put in months of careful work, attention, and consideration into every line of our budgets. And the discussions and negotiations that led up to this moment involved countless hours over long weekends and late nights. Director Dunn, I especially want you to know that that does not go unnoticed or unappreciated for you, but also for the Appropriations Chairman, the House and Senate leadership, and the budget offices. We thank y'all so much for what you do. The amended budget I'll sign today delivers meaningful relief to the people of Georgia, while also making key investments that will drive our state's success for years to come. I want to stress that while this document on the table amounts to a large sum of money, much of that new spending is one-time additions that do not add long-term liabilities to our state that our children and our grandchildren would have to pay back. In fact, Georgia now has the lowest debt-to-revenue ratio since the state began issuing bonds in the 1970s. And we have enough money still in our rainy day fund to keep state government working for nearly 3 months without zero revenue. We're able to make wise use of these dollars today and make generational investments in our state because of our conservative approach to budgeting. And because of the belief that guides us in crafting and negotiating these budgets, this isn't the government's money. It is the people of Georgia's money. So I am proud to sign this budget that includes $2 billion for income and property tax relief. It reflects my proposal before you to permanently reduce our income tax to 4.99%, saving taxpayers another $771 million annually going forward. It also includes over $612 million to give a $2,000 one-time pay supplement to school teachers, state law enforcement, and other hard-working state workers, and key investments in our classroom and our workforce, including $325 million to establish an endowment to provide seed funding for the DREAM Scholarship Program, the largest investment in a needs-based aid program in our state's history. Six, $6 million for the Career Navigator tool I announced at last year's Governor's Workforce Summit to connect workers with quality jobs. $10 million for a new robotics academy at the Georgia Tech Savannah campus. $5.6 million for the University of Georgia's nursing program building. And $11.43 million for accreditation and startup cost of UGA's new School of Medicine. We're also making key investments in public safety to better keep Georgians safe and to reward those who run toward danger to protect our communities. An additional $150 million for the Department of Corrections to address critical bed space needs. Over $9.7 million for additional correctional officer positions. $15 million for a new K-9 training facility at the Georgia Department of Public Safety. $50 million to assist communities in meaningfully addressing the challenges of homelessness across our state and also with our veterans. And $409 million for the design and construction of a new Georgia Regional Hospital to expand our state's mental health bed capacity in a historic way. Just like these investments are one-time spends that will also have generational impact. But we've also made sure they won't create generational debt. This budget includes over $1.6 billion for the I-75 express lanes in Henry County, helping ease traffic in one of our nation's most congested corridors. $185 million for interchange conversions on the University Parkway. $100 million for rehabilitation and replacement of rural bridges. $250 million additional dollars for local maintenance and improvement grants for city and county transportation projects. $35 million for a first-of-its-kind natural gas infrastructure program at Chifa. $15 million for rural site development grants to assist local governments with economic development opportunities. And $8.9 million for the Georgia Forestry Innovation Initiative to support our timber industry. This is by no means an exhaustive list of what this budget will help us do, but the entire package is a result of teamwork from the people you see here with me today. But there is still more work to do, including final passage of enabling legislation to provide over $1 billion in income tax relief to hardworking Georgians. But together, I'm sure that we will get that done too. So thank you again to the members of the General Assembly for helping us keep Georgia the best place to live, work, and raise a family through budgets like this. After we sign this budget, let's keep chopping. And now I'll turn it over to Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones. Governor.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Governor Kemp, and thank you for all your great leadership. And it's been a wonderful, wonderful 4 years of working with you and your staff, Lauren Curry, your Chief of Staff, and First Lady, and your whole team. So thank you very much, and appreciate that. This is a great day, as you say, a great day to be a Georgian, right, Mr. Speaker? It's a good day, and it's been a great working relationship. I want to give Speaker Burns and his team a lot of credit for working with our team. My Chief of Staff, Brad Vong, and Enos Owens, they worked very hard on this, but we couldn't do it without our two good appropriations chairmen. Both Chairman Hatchett and Chairman Tillery do a fantastic job. Let's give them a round of applause for their hard work. The governor hit on all the points. You know, we were interested in giving money back to hardworking Georgians, and we were able to give $2 billion back to hardworking Georgians. We wanted to invest in public safety. We were able to do that, and we wanted to invest in mental health. And thanks to Chairman Tillery and his leadership, we were able to put $409 million to go towards the first since 1960 two, I believe it was, mental health facility, hospital, which is desperately needed, and we're very excited about that effort. I know our sheriffs and law enforcement officers all across the state are very excited about that. We were glad to get that done. We were also glad to be able to help our veterans. You know, when we were talking about putting money into a homeless package, we included $5 million for veterans, those who are suffering through homelessness or mental health. We were able to put that into the budget, and we were very glad to do that. And we were also proud to put $2.5 million into our after-school care program that we started here in the Senate. And once again, the big one is we're 4 years in a row now. We've lowered our state income tax, which is something I'm very proud of. Yeah. We still have a lot of work to do, as the governor said. We now will sign the amended budget here and move on to our crossover day this Friday and then on to the big budget. So I know everybody, I can hear all my legislators back here how excited they are about crossover this week. And we're looking forward to it as well. But also thank you, every member of the House and Senate. I want to thank each and every one of you for the hard work that you've done and you've put in. And I see Governor Perdue, Chancellor Perdue up there. We appreciate all your efforts, Governor, and able to help out with the Promise Scholarship. That is a big boost to our university system, and I know the Chancellor will use that money well. So without further ado, I'd like to turn it over to my partner in crime over here, Speaker Burns, and great working with the Speaker, great working with the House leadership, and we just appreciate the House leadership getting all their wish lists done, and we've been able to accomplish all the things we'd like to do in the Senate, and we'd like to continue to have that good working relationship with them. So, Speaker Byrne, the floor is yours. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, good afternoon. Governor Jones, Lieutenant Governor Jones, you have to say it with a little more gusto. Y'all know what I know. It's a great day to be a Georgian. No doubt about it.
That's it.
And it is certainly a great day to be here with all our colleagues and all of our leadership and executive branch, and certainly with our great governor, Governor Kemp, Lieutenant Governor Jones. Of course, always a pleasure working with you and your team. Chairman Hatchett, thank you for your work. I know you worked long and hard. Chairman Tillery, thank you for your exceptional work as well on putting together this budget that impacts all Georgians' lives. As well as more than these are up here, but especially the members of the House and Senate appropriations teams and all they've done as we celebrate the passage of this and the signing of this amended budget. First Lady Marty Kemp, it's always a pleasure to see you, and I do like your partner standing up beside you, my dear wife Dale. You know, this budget is more than just numbers on a page. It is a direct reflection of the General Assembly's commitment to each of our neighbors in every corner of this great state of Georgia. First and foremost, because of the House's leadership on property tax relief, this budget puts nearly $2 billion back into the pockets of hardworking Georgians who earned it, including $850 million in homeowner tax relief grants for homeowners and property tax payers across this great state. We're also proud to be giving money back to the men and women who keep our state running by providing, as the governor mentioned, every state employee with a $2,000 pay supplement. We're pretty proud of that. Thank you for your work, all you state employees. In addition to returning money to hardworking Georgians, the amended fiscal year 2026 budget invests strategically and responsibly in the areas that matter most to the future of this state, whether it's public safety, education, health care, or infrastructure investments. The House was proud to work alongside Governor Kemp to invest in Georgia's continued economic growth and success, delivering an historic $2 billion into transportation initiatives and projects all across Georgia. And I see how great there's both of our transportation experts up there. Thank you for both of y'all's work. Janine and Russell, thank you so much. The House has also secured another historic win for Georgia students, strengthening our mission to ensure every child can read in this state. But you know what's more important to learning to read than being able to see in the classroom? This budget includes nearly $30 million for Georgia's first School of Optometry at Georgia Southern University, which will increase the access to vision care for children and families across this state. Our first School of Optometry. Thank you, Governor Kemp. That was a great partnership we had on that one, along with the Senate. Increasing access to quality, affordable health care continues to be a top priority for the Georgia House and all of us in this House. This budget also includes $17.8 million for 103, pretty important, 103 new medical residency slots across South Georgia, and $409 million for that mental health hospital here in Atlanta that's been spoken about. Something I know for sure. I know the late, great David Ralston would be proud of this investment in mental health as we continue working to carry his mission forward as we strengthen mental health resources in our state. Now, we also know that forestry has been the backbone of many communities and economies throughout Georgia for generations. And right now, this industry is facing unprecedented challenges. The House is leading to advocate at the state and federal levels to deliver short and long-term solutions for landowners and timber growers. This budget also allocates nearly $9 million to our state's premier research institution, Georgia Tech, to support the timber industry's expansion into emerging markets, laying the foundation for forestry to strive for generations to come. Each of these items is just a glance at what this budget delivers for the people of this great state of Georgia. I believe every Georgian can be proud of these investments we're making today to create a better, brighter future for our entire state. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for the great work we've done on this budget. Governor Kemp, thank you for your leadership. And I'll ask, as you did a moment ago, Governor Kemp, that God would continue to bless Georgia, these United States, and keep our servicemen and women safe. Thank you all.
Well, thank you, Speaker Burns, Lieutenant Governor Jones, Chairman Hatchett, Chairman Tillery, members of the General Assembly, our state agency heads, constitutional officers, thank you all for your hard work in getting us to the point to sign the budget, which we'll do in just a second, but I think we're going to take a few questions real quick. Well, look, from my perspective, we passed a bill several years ago to be on track to reduce our personal income tax and state income tax down to 4.99%. This budget, and hopefully legislation that will be passed soon by both chambers and I'll sign, will do that 3 years before the plan to do that. So I want to thank you all for that. As to further lowering the tax rate, I'm fine doing that. We just got to tell people how we're going to do it and make sure we don't leave a hole in the budget when we do. I think the methodical approach that we've taken over the last several years has really put our state on a path to be competitive. That's why we're still the #1 state in the country for business. There's a lot of people behind me that are going to be in their positions longer than I am at this point, and people have a lot of good plans to reduce taxes, which I'm all for. And I know my administration and my team will be working with all these folks the rest of the session to see what that looks like and do it in a responsible way that really is a testament to the folks that give us this money we're dealing with, the Georgia taxpayers. Well, we'll start working on that now that we get, once we get the budget signed. I would refer you to Chancellor Perdue. We've had long conversations about this. I think he feels cautiously optimistic about the input that we could have from some of our private sector partners. I mean, our commitment putting this in the budget was a signal to him, and him going to nonprofits and other folks to say, hey, we want to make this a public-private partnership, something that will benefit our state for decades to come. That's what we've done with this budget, and I know the Chancellor's been working on that. I'll let him say, how much he wants to say about this at this point, and I would just refer you to him and the Board of Regents for that. Well, I'm not too worried about the next administration. I appreciate that question. I would say this, though. I think that the budgets that we have passed, this budget that we're fixing to sign, and I believe the big budget this year, are all budgets that anybody would be proud to be taken into the next administration. These individuals behind me, this leadership that's here, we have budgeted conservatively and responsibly through some very difficult times in our state. And we are reaping the benefits of that right now by giving $2 billion back to hardworking people. A lot of them that are, week to week right now, struggling week to week. They need to know that they have a General Assembly and a governor that's been fighting for them to put more money back in their pocket. You look at other states around the country, they spent all their COVID money. They grew government programs. They are not in the situation that we're in. They are raising taxes on their people while we're giving money back to ours. All right, I think we probably ought to sign the budget with that one.
Yeah.